real quick. Um, is everybody sharing the link on their page?
Yeah, you want to be a solo?
Yeah. I reposted it
Hold
earlier.
on. Hold on, let me put it in.
That one? The one with the flank guys at the end.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Play out action.
Oh, it's on?
Yeah, we live.
Yes, sir. We on and we live. Hey, yo, so we wanted to
punish niggas right quick. Got to take pads from niggas and shit.
Is everybody sharing the link on their page?
Yeah, I'm about to share it. I'm about to start a watch for it.
All right, yo, so
Where Mike at?
we want to I don't know where Mike at, man. Mike bugging, but Lil Kennedy got this under control.
Lil Kennedy?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Lil Kennedy today, and Mike gonna be Big Kennedy. But hey, yo, I'm glad to be on this week, the third week of the show, and this week we are talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the state of percussion in New Orleans. My city, I am and will always be a son of the city, and things that concern the city, and especially the band world, concern me. So welcome everybody. And we want all our guests that are on so far to go around and introduce themselves and, tell a little bit about themselves as it relates to band. Juicy, you want to kick us off, man?
Sure. To the people in high school and my students, this is Mr. Harrison. To everybody else, this is Juice. I've been teaching since 2007. Let's see, the rest of me, I started at Warren Easton, was there from 07 to 09. I taught at Helen Cox from 09 to 2012. I was at Lincoln Elementary for 13 and 14. Then I was at Martin Berman from 14 to 16. And then I was also now at Carr from 16 to present. And I was also at BOE from 2013 to 2017.
I think a lot of people in the audience want to know, how old are you, man? This is ridiculous. How long you been doing this? I'm messing with you, man. Welcome, Johnny, man. We appreciate you being here, man. Nah, man, I don't know about that, man. It seems like you've been doing this 40 years. Hey, yo, before we go any further, man, let us get some, we're trying to keep this thing going. So let us get some shares and some likes on this video. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in, but let us get some shares and some likes on this thing. All right, Mr. Van Buren, if you don't mind, I know you're a normal on the show, but can you love and I'm sorry, the love is for the video, but can you say who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Let that youngster go first.
Okay, well, Darrell, you can go first, sir.
Well,
appreciate the likes, by the way. I see y'all.
Hey, look, I'm Darrell. I'm a part of the new school. Well, according to some people, old school. I'm too old, but the new school. I played tuba at Walker. I went to Southern. But I'm here for the comments because I didn't play drums, but I do got my opinion on the drum section, so I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Okay, well, we won't hold the fact that you went to Walker against you today. It's all love.
Hey, I got a lot to say about Walker.
We won't. Nobody's gonna hold the fact that you went to Walker against you. At any rate, Johnny, good brother.
All my life I had to fight. Marion Everson Senior High School.
Why? All the way up.
All my life I had to fight.
Why? Still all the way up. No. Deep.
Yeah. I was at Southern University. All my life I had to fight.
Oh my God.
Man, y'all can
So look, I ain't gonna tell y'all my band and everything.
What's good, fellas?
I won't get to say, bro, I'm trying to introduce myself. You gotta learn how to come in here. When you come in here, you gotta learn how to be muted. Don't come in here disturbing my introduction, dog. Like a man, don't come in here. Now let me turn off.
Them over here is always fighting against each other.
Anyway, so look, I'm Johnny Van Buren. I'm the band director at Abrams Academy Senior High School, one of the best bands in the city of New Orleans. I'm here. This will be a very interesting show, so I'm not going to elaborate anymore. Let's get the show rolling.
Hey, Mike.
Mike. One more thing. Oh man, you couldn't do that, but I was going to shout out Mr.
What'd you say, man?
Lawrence Riley. His birthday today. Lawrence
Happy birthday, Low.
Happy birthday, Low. My band director at Kennedy, late 90s, baby. We did our thing. At any rate,
no 3-5 on the clock.
Mike, Mike, you will take a second to introduce yourself, man.
How y'all doing? I'm Mike Herron, class of 96. Snuggle section leader at Kennedy for 2 years. Also, master drum instructor, Thurgood Marshall, Gregory Phillip, Aberson when it was real. Kennedy, Lake Elliott, college, and also
they all sleep right now. They ain't no real evil.
And I am Matt Francis. I'm marching for John Fitzgerald Kennedy, located in City Park, across from beautiful Bayou St. John, nestled gently between the trees of City Park and just barely a stone's throw away from Lake Pontchartrain, the pretty side. We welcome you guys. And so we're gonna go ahead on and get into this thing. So we wanna start by I'll be completely honest with y'all. I am hosting this week, but this is an issue that I hold near and dear to my heart. So while I am hosting, my opinions will be slightly, if not majorly biased. But I'll try to be as fair as I possibly can while we do this. So we're gonna get into this old school versus new school drummer thing, man. Both sides of the thing feel like the other one really don't listen. And over these past few weeks, I've come to understand that the new school cats feel like cats my age have just kind of are stuck in tradition and sometimes disrespectful. And I'll be completely honest with you, cats my age feel like the youngsters have just gone astray.
We just gone.
Yeah, they gone out their minds. Mm-hmm. We think it looks nuts. A lot of what's going on, but so I'll give I guess we want to start here. Where did the transition come? As far as you guys know, and how did we end up here as it relates to this drum thing? And what do y'all think the state of drums is?
Well, I believe the state of drums, knowledge-wise, I believe that it's getting better because the kids are more open-minded to different, not styles, but different feels of cadences. But before the storm, on my take, I feel like before the storm, all the cadences, if it was a show cadence, marching cadence, whatever, if you take the snap part away from it, it all sounds like a marching groove. It's all something you could do this to, you know what I'm saying? Something you could rock your head, something that if it was just tenor, bass, and cymbals, you could march down the street. Now that they're trying to play some
Juice,
different
do you mean,
feels.
just for the purpose of clarity, do you mean you felt like all of the cadences was like on the upbeat?
Like not the same tempo, but it have a same like like a upbeat, like a drive to it.
Like all
Just
of them
like
was on the upbeat. Yeah. Okay.
like the pocket of the cadences, of course about set. The pocket of the
Yeah.
cadences was pretty much the same feel. It's just the snares was the more flair of the section, or the cymbals might be the flair. You know what I'm saying? So now I think starting in maybe like 2011. When Jerron Gotro was in the car, he started putting a different feel on the cadences, like a different feel, something that you could kind of bob your head slow to. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff that we wasn't used to in New Orleans. So when that started, Derek Hillier also started kind of doing the same thing. Majority of his was still a marching feel, but he had some stuff that he was able to give a different feel for. And then it started increasing more and more and more as the years progressed, and that's what started happening with the All-Star Band as well. We started playing like different grooves in the cadences, so I think that started to change.
I 100% agree. 100%.
That's me. I agree as well, man.
Y'all have anything else to say?
I think to me, it was back then, and I like I said, I don't play drums, so don't hold me against it. But from what I know, back then, it was one way. Today, it's multiple ways, and I think it's because, like you said, everybody, all the kids more open minded, and you got kids venturing out, going to do other things, and bringing it back to the city and sharing everything that they learn, but putting it all together, to make it one. So it ain't like they just let the old way go, but they added to it and became more versatile, like I used in the band where we were talking about band. So now they're more versatile and they more equipped to play different ways. So whenever it's time for them to go to the next level, they're not stuck on one place. They can go anywhere and play. They can go to Texas and go run with them dudes out there. They can go to Atlanta and go run with them dudes out there. They can go all kind of ways. That's just my input on it. And I agree 100% with you.
I also think the difference between now, I don't even know we got to this part of the segment, but I think the difference between now and before the storm is the pride. The pride was way stronger before the storm. The pride would let us never change because we used to a certain way. And as soon as somebody step out the box, you know what I'm saying, the city coming down on them. Just like now. I think a lot of the disconnect is the people that wasn't really looking at drum sections all the way through to now, when they finally see where it came to, is a big culture shock because they didn't see the transition happening slowly but surely. So now, you know what I'm saying, if somebody before the storm would do like some of the movements some of these sections would do now, shit, they would get stoned.
The
you know what I'm
country.
saying? Like, yeah, get out this section. We ain't fucking with that. Like, just off the top. But now there is a big disconnect between before the storm and now, because there were years where percussion wise in the city, nothing was really happening. There was no competitions, there was no competitive nature at all in the city. So for them to be able to still pass down stuff from Katrina, you know what I'm saying, but from before Katrina, these schools would have to have a strong foundation and be able to pass it down. That's why St. O still majority looks like St. O, but a lot of the schools that's starting to be back vibrant now either haven't been vibrant in years or never been vibrant at all. So that's why I think a lot of the new school feel some type of way because they can't do what they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Mike, you have anything you want to add, brother?
Yeah, like I said, I agree with Juice, but I can't shit on neither one. If I do have to shit on it, like I said, you got some of these schools like West Jeff and Nicole. I'm gonna use them too. Those are two that's really doing the shit. You see different things, but everybody else is pretty much, I know we had like old school, pretty much everybody had the same case. but it's how you played it, system wise, aiming, you know.
Turn it down.
That was back then. But now the new school cadence, bro, all these schools that's trying to do this shit, they sound like they're just putting up a fucking beat to a song and just breaking that bitch up into a cadence.
Hot boy.
That's what it pretty much sound like. But the things, like I said, I agree with my kids, bro. My kids, we want to play it, but it have to sound like a cadence.
Okay.
You know, so all this shit, the way they do cadence now, they count that bitch up. They count it up. So my thing is, like I said, I'm not shitting on both of them because I'm starting to like the new school shit because, hey, look, anything that keep these kids off the street, I don't give a fuck if I have to look cater with rocks, bro. It's gonna happen.
Now,
you know, so
now the one thing I can't kind of interject. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the one thing I will say is, if you walk down the street with any drum section in the city, you're gonna hear the New Orleans sound that y'all been looking for. It's just when they're showcased in a show setting, they play different style cadences because they don't want to play stuff like we used to play when we had battles. We used to showcase our section leaders, and then when they come back to playing the cadence, all we do is playing is like paradiddles, like for stuff like number 2, shorty. You know what I'm saying? Like if you playing stuff like in a battle, the only person that's gonna get shine is the section leader, while everybody else about to come behind them with paradiddles. They don't want to do that anymore. If they marching down the street, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that from pretty much every section. You know what I'm saying? But when we're in a show style setting, they want to play more different level stuff, more different feels to kind of try to throw off the person that be battling. Now, a lot of drum sections that don't either trying to find a good foundation or don't really have one right now, of course they're gonna mimic what they see in the city or they're gonna mimic what they see on YouTube. That's just what it is.
Man, what's wrong with Burger phone? Burger, you here with us, brother? You
like
what you got, man? Have you been watching? You late as shit. So I'm wondering, have you been watching?
I am late. I did watch I watched a little bit. I wanted to join. I was a little busy. But I agree with everything you said. Like, just to throw my 2 cents in there, I do feel like drum sections today are way better equipped to go and battle and actually win. Like, the drum sections back then, it was nice for New Orleans. But outside New Orleans, they wasn't going nowhere and win no competition.
Just like bands.
So
that's just how I feel. Now, they was great sections, a few of them, but they wasn't battle ready. Maybe for New Orleans, y'all.
So let me ask you this, Juice.
What's up?
Because you come from our era and you in this era.
All right.
I'm looking at it from a snare drum standpoint. Are the snare drummers now better?
Yeah, the sections today can compete with,
I ain't asked you nothing,
sections outside of New Orleans.
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick?
I'm asking.
I ain't spoke yet.
No.
Give me a second. Let me speak real quick because I said I was gonna have a word in this, and so let me say a couple of things. Let me start by saying that on this show we're gonna have opinions that people might not agree with, but it's just an opinion. We discussing band. We may get boisterous. We may say things that you don't like because we all really passionate about this thing. So,
right.
You know what? They just jealous because I'm the most famous bandsman in New Orleans. Like they just jealous.
Wait, hold on,
I know that. I know that. Hold on,
man. So look, check this out. So no matter how we might talk or how we might sound, man, we cool outside of this. Now I said all that because things about to get a little.
Oh, it's about to get ugly.
About to get a little rough. Okay, let me say a couple things. I don't really agree with hardly anything I've heard so far outside of what Mike said. I think it's all. Let me say this. Y'all completely misunderstand what we saying when we talk as old heads. I'm gonna start from the standpoint of me being a set drummer. So when I was a kid, cats like Billy Cobham and Dave Weckl, dudes like that was cold, man. But they don't play dudes like dudes from the day. But dudes from the day that play Kit, they don't go back and discount those dudes. Like I feel like things are discounted today. As a drummer from before Katrina, I take great offense, to be completely honest, to the thinking being that we couldn't have went out and competed. I don't know why. I don't know whether y'all think. I don't know whether the thinking is we somehow lacked physical ability, or we lacked. Hold on. Let me talk because I let you talk, brother. We somehow lacked mental prowess. I don't know if y'all don't think we couldn't put it together mentally or physically. But let me say this: when I was in school, we left high school, and we went to colleges, not just Southern, but other schools, and we got section leader. We were factors in college. I want to also go on to say anything that was hot when we were in school. Any rudiments that were being played, we played them in the city, period. This thinking that we were just way behind, I don't get that. And also our thinking is y'all shit on tradition. There is nothing wrong with tradition. Tradition is a good thing. I understand that they're trying to change the feel of things over at Edna Carr and a couple other schools, but for every school to have said we're gonna abandon tradition, I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. I think it's wrong-headed. I think a lot of these schools have been convinced by people outside of the city, which is fucking nuts. Excuse my French, which is nuts to me, because New Orleans is the band capital of this. Like people. So the fact that we're now being influenced by people outside of the city is nuts to me. Now for schools like yourself, Juice, where y'all have patterned yourself after a certain thing, that's what's up. But I miss the day of drum instructors like Sean Ruffin, who came in and they created. They came in and they had a thing. They had a vision and they created a vision. I miss the days of that. Now we are absolute copycats. Everything sounds the same. Everything looked the same. When I was in school, Kennedy didn't sound like Defoe, and Defoe didn't sound like Reed, and Reed didn't sound. Everybody had their own thing. Now it's one big cookie cutter situation. I understand that things are going to evolve. Evolution is necessary. Evolution is coming. I'm with all of that. But to say but for the thinking to be that we were somehow less than everybody else, man, that's crazy. I went to Kennedy. We battled sections outside of the city, and we didn't take L's like that. It wasn't no. I ain't never took no L from no drum section outside of the city. Period. I ain't never played snuff for nobody, and they wasn't feeling what I was playing. So this is nuts to me. So that's what our. And then the thing, another difference between Pre-Katrina and now is we knew rudiments. That's another thing we find insulting. We knew the rudiments of that day. We just knew them. To see them little cats in the New Orleans All-Star band a couple summers ago get their asses tore up by some dudes that was playing some shit I could have played when I was in school was flat out embarrassing to me. So yes, man, sometimes as old heads, we look at this stuff and we flat out embarrassed at the state of it because, again, tradition has been abandoned. All of them look the same. All of all of y'all, it seems, outside of car who y'all patterned yourself after a particular thing. All of y'all seem to have been convinced that what we had wasn't beautiful. And it was, man. People jocked what we did. So yes, we do look at it when we see the lack of knowledge when we had knowledge when we was in school, and we look at it sometimes in shame because people are not as abreast of things. Give me a second. People are not as abreast of things when we are now, and secondly, tradition has been abandoned. That is our issue.
Hey, look, one thing
Let Juice and Mike go after that. Let Juice go and Mike go. Because I
we're
want
not
Mike.
saying y'all wasn't capable. We just saying y'all was stuck in your way, like y'all wasn't ready to switch up. You know,
Who
today
wasn't
they ready to switch. We could do it our way, and then they could do it their way. That's all we saying.
What are you saying? We were trying to switch to. We had nothing to switch to when we was in school. We played our own style. My school sounded like Sean Ruffin wanted it to sound.
I want to hear what Juice got to say, then I want to hear what Mike got to say.
Bro,
So look,
look. Actually, I'm gonna tell this.
Y'all can hear Mike?
Who talking shit got switched?
Huh? Y'all can hear me?
Your phone.
Huh?
You bringing up?
No, I was saying, bro. Y'all can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Nah. Shit.
Mike, I can't. Mike. I don't know what's going on.
He got the same company that made Goon Computer. I'm convinced. Whatever company that made Goon Computer, that's who made his phone.
I got Sprint, dog. Y'all can hear me good now,
right
bro?
now
I'm still breaking up.
When you start getting in depth,
good.
it just start
I think
breaking up.
All right, just give me sign languages, bro. My shit, start breaking up. But like I said, bro, shit, like I said, shit changed, bro. When New Orleans niggas started going, to different colleges and shit, and they started bringing that shit back, bro. So, but like I said, bro, I'm a shit on some of the new school kids, but they playing all this bullshit, bro. And I guarantee you, if you ask them what rudiment that is, they pretty much gonna name any fucking rudiment, and that shit is not gonna be.
And that's absolute bullshit. What you saying?
No, it's not.
That's absolute
bullshit. Half of these kids.
That's absolute bullshit.
Half of these kids, bro. And I challenge. I be running with some of them, bro. When I ask them what the fuck that was, remember that? They don't be knowing what the fuck that is.
You ain't running with all of them. You about to tell me that you ran with every kid. Every kid you ran with in new school don't know what they playing. That's absolute bullshit.
We didn't use no absolutes. He said if you ask a lot of them what they playing, they're not
a lot. You heard what he said? A lot.
It's like it's some of them, bro. Like you can sit up there, like I said, the main rudiment, bro. You could think if you go up to them and tell them play a paddle fly, they're gonna think it's a fucking hybrid rudiment, and it's not. It's a basic chord. Half of these kids, bro, that's playing all this shit. All these new school kids, they can't even play a 17-stroke roll, bro. The proper way.
Who teaching them, though, Mike? I respect you, man.
Let's see.
I don't know who teaching. Like I said, my kids, they learn that shit, bro. Cause they're actually getting taught by Ruff during school time. Cause
Mike, I don't know what you're saying. Mike, I'm feeling everything you're saying, Mike, but we can't hear it.
Bro, that's different, bro.
I'm about to go.
Who's about to settle, family?
Can y'all hear me?
I can.
Yeah, we can.
So they knocked me off for a second. All right, let me try to rebuttal a lot of stuff Matt was saying. All right, so for one, I do not feel like the New Orleans style, or however you want to put it, whatever held us back. I don't believe that, and I still believe that if the guys in our era would be in this setting now, they will be able to play anything that we plan. So I don't feel like our style is holding anybody back.
Thank you.
All right,
I appreciate that.
I really now. What I will say is, and it's like the teaching of the kids. I'm sorry, it's pretty much the same way. You got a certain amount of kids that's on this shit that know the rudiments, and they got a certain amount that don't. Just like in our era, everybody in our era in the line couldn't burn everybody at every other school or city. It wasn't like that. Sometimes you blessed with it, sometimes you're not. It is what it is. I think now, like I said, now that these kids are exposed to different fields, that they're trying to do different field of cadences. Now, as far as the movement and stuff like that, we don't have a strong foundation for show cadences. Let's be real. in my era, the school that had the most show cadences as far as a book was 35. And even with 35, if you take the snare drum part out, it sounds like a marching cadence. It is what it is. Matt, I do want to ask you, how many show cadences did you play at Kennedy? Something you can't march down the street to.
We played 4 of them.
4 of them, right?
Yeah.
All right. What made it a show cadences? What made it a show cadence?
It wasn't our normal material we marched down the street on. It wasn't something we could march to and groove down the. It was funky and it was groovy, but they wasn't stuff that we could march to at all.
Right. So the difference now is they still want to play more cadences like that, but the other sections don't just want to stand idle and just play it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at a lot of the older, a lot of the other like tenor and bass parts, it's something that just you can just kind of stay in the pocket and you're supporting the snares. All right. Now with that happening, they don't want to just stand still and just play the drums, which shouldn't be a problem because a lot of these sections in the city, I'm sorry, they still New Orleans style. It's just they're adding something to it.
They don't play like New Orleans style. They don't
agree.
They don't use the molar technique. In New Orleans, we whipped when we played. And these days
they play.
No, they don't. So you telling me kids at your school whip when they play?
Yes.
No, y'all don't use the molar technique.
Yes, Juice. That is the molar.
Don't. You may use it. Your kids don't.
No, they do. They do. The only difference is with the level of stuff that they're playing, which we didn't play in our era. It's hard to play a lot of that stuff with the molar technique. We're playing a lot more stuff now. So if they playing stuff when it's just a parody or something, it's stick height and all that. But when you playing something complex, when you playing a lot of hybrids, a lot of different formats, different formations of the first 40 rudiments, it's hard to play the molar technique. It's hard to play. Not saying they're not playing it, it's just not full out. Now you're not coming all by your face with it. That's the only difference. That is the only difference.
I'm okay. I understand fully that certain things require you to play and move your stick differently. Some stuff requires, like when you play, some stuff requires you to use your arms, some stuff requires you to use your wrist, and some stuff requires you to use your fingers.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that. Right. But it's when I say what I'm saying, it's like now you guys are on a mission to add as many beats to cadences and songs as possible, like some of these other cities, and some of it, man, is just not. Some of it is just not musical. Some of it is to the point where it's just complex. We adding notes for the sake of adding notes. Or we have a song going on now, and you got a drum section beating like crazy while it's going on. That's not musical. If a song is on the radio, they're not gonna have a part with the drum beat, the actual percussion part of the song is beating all over the word and the melody of the song. But some of this stuff is just not musical. It doesn't feel good, man. Like that's our issue. When we say traditionalists, I understand that it's going to evolve, man. Like I know things are not going to stay the same, but some of it is just beating for the sake of beating, and we're no longer making music. Some of it don't sound good. It's not pleasant to listen to.
And a lot of them think about being loud and stuff like that. I agree with that.
And honestly, I agree with that too. But I think with like the tenor and bass, the approach to the drum is completely different than what the approach to the drum was before the storm. Because before the storm, the whole thing was trying to sound a certain way without looking it. Trying to be loud without looking like you're loud. So it's more of a finesse type thing. If I'm on T drum, I'm trying to finesse it. I'm trying to do sticking, all that stuff. this is not what they're doing now. Nobody in this city is trying to finesse. That's why the forms done changed on bass drum. That's why.
What's wrong with finesse? What's wrong with finesse?
Nothing.
Finesse. Look, no, nothing wrong with finesse. But when we was trying to finesse, no matter how people want to try to disagree with this, we wasn't getting that. We was getting that from our tradition because it was passed on, but we was also getting that from Southern. To be honest.
Okay, Johnny, this the thing. I mean, not Johnny, Juice. This the thing. It's only first off playing with those big old mallets. Let me say something I don't disagree with from my era. I don't think that any drum should be considered country. That's the most ignorant thing. That there's a designation of music that's called country. If you look at a set of quints or quads and say, now that's a country drum, you're ignorant, and you gotta.
There's a lot of ignorant niggas in them comments.
Yeah, you gotta stop that. Now let me say this. So I don't agree with that, but let me say this. It's only so much sound that you're gonna get out of a drum, right? So when you take that big hard mallet and you start beating as hard as you can, to the point where the drum is no longer. Things no longer sound musical. It no longer sounds good. It's no longer pleasant. We just banging for the sake of man. It's like music is not being made. That's the issue we have. Nobody. Where's the pocket of the song? Where's the groove? Why is it so much beating? Why is it so much beating when in essence the horn section of the band is mimicking words? If that's the case, just where's the pocket? Leave that there. Let the important thing be the important thing in the song. And that has been abandoned from our style. We hate it. That's what we be saying. Stuff like that is what we hate. Not the fact that it's evolved. Y'all misunderstand us. Or not you, Juice, but y'all don't listen long enough to understand what we saying. Y'all just run off with what y'all think. We hate the fact that the groove has been abandoned and the musicality of our drum parts has that mindset has been abandoned. That's what we hate.
I definitely understand, and I definitely know at my school is that we definitely find the pocket. Now, if it's on a tuba or drum break, then I might let up and give a little freedom because it's like actually like you playing a drum kick when you playing set. If it's something where you're not overshadowing the vocalist or you're not overshadowing the rest of the band, then you have a feel to be able to do something. But I definitely always preach to my section that we don't overpower the band at all, and that's something you work on in the barrel. Now, if you got a drum section that don't have a drum instructor, who's gonna be there to tell them that? Them kids not gonna do it themselves. They're gonna go for broke every. It is what it is, and then sometimes when y'all see the representation for that don't have a strong foundation or don't have a strong teacher to tell them when to do stuff and not to do stuff, you think that that's a full representation of New Orleans itself, and it's not. So they have schools that still doing it. They have schools that still is predominantly New Orleans style, but they getting caught up in all the riffraff because they have other sections that's doing different things. But again, if you walk with any section down the street, you're gonna hear a New Orleans feel. Even in the song parts, you still gonna hear a New Orleans feel. So I don't agree with the city as a whole that's trying to just beat the drums just to be beating it. I don't agree with that at all. I think there is still musicality in a lot of stuff that these sections are playing now. The only difference I see is the pride. The pride is not as strong as it was before the storm.
So you telling me these?
Man, hold
okay.
up. I want to say one thing. I want from a band, from my perspective, because
go ahead, Mike. I want to hear what Mike got to say. Mike been quiet a while.
I can't hear nobody, but I can't hear Johnny or Burger.
Y'all can hear me?
I want to hear what Mike got to say.
Okay,
I can hear you, John.
I think from my perspective, like I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I don't like the new style, but I don't stop my kids from learning.
I might have to sit next to y'all, so I can't hear what he's saying.
You know what I mean? So I had to learn that because my kids like the new style. So we have to incorporate.
Hey, I do. I don't know if y'all can hear me out there. I do want to say. I hear all these guys in these comments, and I hear Matt and Mike. I know what Mike getting ready to say, but what I would love for y'all to do, I'm talking about traditional,
I cannot hear nobody.
Old school New Orleans drum instructor. I would love for y'all to host the event because y'all always saying what's old school New Orleans, but y'all never teaching it. We got all these dudes. We got all these dudes in the city that say everything's so country and everything's so watered down. Then why don't y'all come and teach whatever y'all want them to play or whatever style that they're missing? Because nobody
because Berger, when we merely saying words, they not getting that. Like our whole point has been misconstrued on a lot of it.
Cut me out.
No, your point is basically made. You don't like.
No.
Like, let's just keep it real. Your point has been made. Nobody missed your point. It's no nice way to tell old school or new school cats you don't like what they doing.
So I cannot hear everybody.
If they told you that they hated what Kennedy was doing back in the day or they didn't like that, it's no nice way for them to tell you that. So I feel like Mike, Juice, you, and whoever else, because Tori on here, you got Bumani on here, you got Leo on here, you got some dudes that's really nice. I want them to teach that stuff. I want them to teach that old school stuff.
But also
everybody say that New Orleans is missing.
Be mindful to taking in some of the new stuff too, though. You can't teach the old stuff but not be open-minded to taking the new stuff too.
I was saying that I was ruling into Burger. I was saying that as a band director, like I tell a
nigga that's like an arranger.
Burger, I'm talking dog.
How you gonna tell an arranger that his arrangement? There's no nice way to tell a nigga his shit poop.
Burger can't hear me or something.
Ain't no nice way to tell a nigga you don't like his shit.
Burger.
But if you're an arranger, you
can hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Stop cutting
that nigga Johnny trying to talk.
That's the problem.
I didn't like the new style, but I had to learn. Mike was my drum instructor at Nelson, and that's when it changed. It started changing around that time when I was at Nelson. We had to incorporate some of that stuff into what the kids at Nelson did. So I'm gonna tell you like this: the one thing that I see that I miss with the old school and the new school, I feel like, and I might be wrong, but I feel like the new school cats.
Why everybody so quiet?
You must can't hear me, but the new school cats hide behind that section versus the old school cats.
I hear Johnny on yours. I can't hear him on mine.
They can all play.
I hear Juice. I heard Juice. Just see what he said.
I think that the one thing that I missed.
Berg, I couldn't hear you at first.
Like just say
I would love for my fans in the live, all my fans in the live comments. Like
Johnny,
you my number one fan in the comments. I have a fan, y'all. I want y'all to go read from the beginning to the end. I have a fan. I wouldn't give him no band clout. So he wants to come and take it out of these comments. Sir, I'm not giving band clout to 40-year-olds. That is a wrap. Your time is up. If you want to get on my band clout payment program, please see me after this show. You're obsessed with me, sir. That is creepy.
What are you talking about?
Sir, you're very creepy, sir.
Hey, somebody mute Burger. Mute Burger.
I don't think Burger, you can hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Nobody else can hear you. Well, they can hear you, but shit, you can't hear them, Burger.
Yeah, right here.
Let Johnny go. Everybody.
That's that new school shit, Bird.
Somebody said that I'm talking over Johnny. I didn't even know Johnny. I couldn't hear you.
Tell him about
every time Johnny be talking, bro, you cutting him off and shit.
Nobody don't want to hear what Johnny got to say anyway, but let him go.
Anyway, he talking about so anyway, I miss this. What I miss because what I don't see in this new school era, I don't see like individual kids going at it no more. Like I used to love that part of being like the drummers. Like I used to like
It's not even. I gotta put it back in there, but it needed to
Eddie
come
Christian,
out.
Aaron Wilson, look at it. And when it comes on,
No, son, you gonna die. Son.
Bro, we
It's
can't
like
wait.
nobody today.
What you saying, Johnny?
huh?
You can hear me, Matt?
I can hear you now.
You back in.
It's like today, you know, like John was saying, but today, like these kids don't give a fuck. It's like they, excuse my language, these kids really don't give a damn about nobody, bro. You know, back then, when we played against people, bro, you had people coming up to you be like, dog, you know you're going at it with Mike, you know you're going at it with Christmas, you know you're going at it with Charles, bro. They don't do that today, bro. They really don't give a fuck about each other, bro. And they just want to run shit at each other.
And I think even in this, like, I don't want to play with my section leader today. I want to play at my section leader. Like, I want to challenge my section leader. So what I see now is everybody in the snub drum is playing the same thing. Versus, like, I want to go at it with my section leader to be better. I don't know if that's going on now. You know what I'm saying? You could beat that.
They don't.
But I still want that young leader to go at it with my section leader.
They don't run with somebody better to get better because they don't want to be embarrassed. But
Right.
that's where the pride come in.
I don't like that.
That's where the pride come in. Like that's why I feel like we had more pride before because we was more prideful and trying to get better. We wasn't worried about how we looked to somebody else.
But I feel like
all they did was make us get better.
Let me say this.
Ass the next time I see him.
I'm gonna piggyback what Johnny just said.
Omani backstage.
Hold on, I'm gonna piggyback what Johnny just said. I miss that same thing too. As a
only get mad on yours.
as a snow drummer, the one thing I enjoyed the most was burning a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm all for the section battles, but in our era, Mike, and you will appreciate this. Cats like Joel and Sean and Ben and we know who was the best. We not who had the best line, which I appreciate as well from the day, but we knew who was the best snare drummer in the city. Because you stood right here and got that ass too. I miss that. I miss cats getting shitted on at the bus stop. That kind of thing. I miss that.
We're bringing on a new school cat, a snare drummer, Bomani. I want him to say what he need to say while he on here. Because when Bomani get off, I want Leo to get on too. So Bomani, go ahead and say what you got to say.
You came on late. We got 12 minutes left in the show.
Come on, Bomani. Say what you got to say.
Important.
As far as whatever, the state of drumming and where it's at and how you feel it's doing.
I graduated at 14, so my last year was kind of the start of everything with the new school.
God damn, yellow.
But I was on the hill.
I can't rebuttal.
I was on the hill. But that last year, Hilliard started to transform into that new style. Not new style, but he wanted to add something new. He was like, look, I'm going to put the quads with it. The only reason why we didn't get the quads was because Hill left to go to San Diego. But he had been instilled in us like, look, we can't stick with this same thing. Not saying that it was bad, but he wanted to branch off and try something different. Now, I say this all the time. I tell Juice this. I don't like the movements that we do because I feel like that's their shit. I don't. But the material, I love it. I love the material. The movements, I don't really agree with.
Who enforced the movements?
I can't really say who enforced the movements.
Do it be in the midst of the dump section?
It do.
All right.
But that's the only thing I feel like I ain't really fooling with the movements. Just like if they was doing
what? Three-step? Three-step. Good job.
Three-step out there, niggas be like, why are you doing that? But as far as the material, I like the material. As far as the people having that aggressiveness, Matt, you right. They don't got that no more. Don't nobody do that. I honestly think that stopped probably my junior sophomore year.
But Bomani, you don't miss cats getting burnt though, bro. Like you don't miss that shit. Damn.
Now wait.
I mean, the humiliation if you got bodies out here on these streets, as I always say, like I got bodies from my era. If you got the humiliation in their face when they know they ain't got no more in the tank, I miss that? Nobody wants to humiliate anybody anymore. Where's that, man? I missed that.
Shit.
Nobody wants to
Man,
be
I got
better than
bodies as
anybody.
well. Old
Everybody
school
want to
ain't
be the
fucking
same.
niggas.
Now, honestly, I was just talking about this recently. I feel like when I go to a lot of these games now, these high school games, I give more of a collegiate feel than a high school feel. Because in our era, you didn't hear line solos going back and forth. You didn't hear that at all. But in college, we heard that all the time. My first year at Southern, I was hearing that coming across the field a lot. But I was like, I never heard this in high school because it was always about one or two or somebody individually running across for somebody individually. How I teach my section is y'all not running with nobody individually until that line mess with our line. If I feel like if you standing toe to toe with us, then I'm gonna let them run. Besides that, you gonna stay where you at. And honestly, that's how it is in college.
Still smoke a
It
motherfucker.
is what it is.
I understand that, but if I feel like if you say you better than me, I'm coming see you like that. That needs to happen. I don't know whether me seeing you factor. You can go. I don't know where that went. This whole we don't care about being better than the next man, as Berger would say, with that ignorant shit he said a few weeks ago. Nobody cares who the section leader is, long as I'm on the line. No, we challenged on our line every day. We got it in. We knew who was the best at our school. We knew
You
who
don't
was the
think
best
you hold on?
around
You don't
because
think
we
them
got
dudes
in
getting it in?
people's shit.
You
Man,
don't think them dudes getting it in?
man.
They do that with each other. They do.
They crazy.
And
Them
can't
old niggas
challenge
crazy.
individually in college, man. That
Them
do
old niggas
happen, man.
crazy.
No,
Dudes
not that
dudes
often.
do run in college.
Not that often.
Not that often, but it happens. So it
Not
might
at a
happen
game.
twice the whole
Not at a
time you're in
game. In
college.
person, yeah. But not at a game.
Well, in person, it could be wherever. I'm
Whoa,
talking
whoa,
about
whoa. Hold
you
on,
need to be
man.
ready.
Sure.
Say, man, you hear me?
True.
Yeah.
You hear me, man?
Yeah.
Now Johnny gonna post that shit, boy. Johnny better stop. He know that little girl can't fuck with my little girl, bro. She need to leave Abe any fucking way and come to Kennedy, bro. That's what she need to
So
do.
she can play.
Cause
She
I
need to go to Kennedy.
ain't doing
So
shit
she can
for
play
her.
Bladehead. Let her go to Kennedy so she can play Bladehead.
Huh?
But nah, Mac,
We don't play Blade Head.
people
Hey, man,
still
we gotta get to the next
they
question.
still run. They still
Yeah,
run
like,
like
nah,
back then. I just think it's not as out in the open as it used to be.
That's all it is.
Like,
Like
it
still
happens.
happens.
It's just
It's
not
Because
like
nobody won't make nobody feel bad. That's the problem.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
I can
what we
agree with
doing
that.
this for? The whole purpose of band is my band better than yours.
Right.
My T drum line better than yours. My snare drum line. What happened to that? Where's the
Listen,
competitiveness?
if you're a
It ain't
drum
no
instructor
My line gonna be better.
and you allow one of your
The
weak
line,
kids
the
to go
whole
out there and
line,
challenge somebody,
My
feel
line
like
gonna
they're
be
not
better.
ready,
the
you
whole
stupid.
line.
If I know my
Well,
line
why
together,
them children
if
not
I know
ready?
my, if I
They
know
was
my
ready
line,
in my era. That's the difference between my era and your
so
era, bro. We was
everybody
ready.
on y'all snare line was ready. Everybody was cold on Kennedy's snare
Everybody wasn't
line.
ready. Don't do that.
Everybody, I
Everybody was
understand
cold.
everybody,
Berg, I don't think he can hear you, Berg.
how we established who was the best was we let all the ready cats run. You ready? Yeah, you ready?
That
All
don't
the
work
ready
like
cats.
that.
So they had
That
people
don't
that
work
wasn't ready.
like that. They had people that wasn't ready.
Exactly.
What he's saying
Niggas
is,
was
I'm not
trash.
letting my kids go out there head first till all of them can compete. So until
Fact.
all of them can compete individually,
Fact.
we're going to be a section and we're going to bust y'all ass.
You
That's
only
a
as
section.
good as your weakest player. You only as good as your weakest link.
If you call that
And
weak,
that's why
I'm
new
calling that
school
Who is
can't
smart.
this
fuck with old
dude?
school.
Wait, I'm sorry, because my point is being misconstrued. Jerry, who are you? Why you keep saying I'm saying it's just about the section? I'm not saying it's not about the. I'm not saying is the section is of critical importance. I'm saying individual play is of critical importance everywhere. Competitiveness, even inside a section, elevates the section. You ought to be trying to be better than the best one in your section every day. You ought to want to be a better version of yourself every day. What happened
But
to
you don't
that?
think that's happening?
No.
Why
I'm
not?
glad you asked. Nope, I don't.
He said that's that he thinking. He to stop thinking. That's what the problem. They thinking too much.
Nah, bro, it's still happening.
Matt,
I
next.
tell people all the
That's definitely
time,
still
if a
happening.
drummer came from Underhill at Easton, I know he was cold. Everything that left Eastern under Hilliard was a dog.
Right.
And I ain't
I
even
agree
gonna
with that.
stunt.
Cash
That's
came out.
Them dudes was
not true.
dogs.
Cash came
That's not
already.
true.
Hey, let me. Okay, so we're in the last 5 minutes of the show, and I'm a go first on this because I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Oh
We
no.
want to
There you go.
name. Let's name the top 5 drum instructors of all time in y'all opinion. I'm gonna go first. Um, I'm gonna go, and my favorite of all time, of course, is Sean Ruffin because he was my drum instructor, and he made men. And my work ethic as a professional musician now comes from his tutelage. So he's gonna be number one. In no particular order for the rest, it's gonna be Mike, Juice, Derek Hilliard, and Peanut. So mine is Sean Ruffin number one, and then the next 4 in no particular order is Sean Ruffin. I'm sorry, Sean Ruffin is my number one. Is Mike, Juice, Derek Hilliard, and Peanut.
I like that.
Want me to go?
I like
In
it
my
too.
generation,
I like that one.
I'm gonna count Juice for 2 because he just was that nigga in my generation. But Ruffin, Hilliard, Mike, and then I went to Wallace. So
All
I'm
right,
gonna give
Mike, we ready? You go ahead.
a shout
Damn,
out.
bro. Why y'all can't go with Juice first, bro?
No, we want to go with Mike. We want to hear Mike. We want to hear Mike.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. All right. I'ma say y'all already know. Ruff, Juice, Hilliard, Mr. Dickerson. And me. And me. That's right. And me. I'm not, bro. I'ma say it again. Hilliard could teach a little kid how to pick up sticks. I can't give it to Peanut, bro. I love Peanut to death, dog. But I can't give him the top 5.
No
Wait,
Forte legends didn't make the list.
they both didn't have a drum teacher. They never really had
Yeah,
a
they
drum
did.
instructor.
They did.
And then
Yeah,
we
Cool
talking
Black.
top 5 drum instructors. They gonna be in my, but Posty never really had a whatchamacall. So you
Forte
took
gonna-
Peanut out of
That's mine.
your top 5 instructors, Mike.
Fuck no.
Zing!
I can't give it to him.
All right, Juicy, who you got, man?
I'm gonna say it again, bro. The reason why I can't give it to Peanut because he didn't teach nobody from scratch. Peanut got my whole snell line from Marshall.
I can't
I can
really
roll
speak on
with
Peanut.
Starting
Doesn't
with
I
pull
can
my
Ryan.
roll with
time.
that. I can roll with that.
Peanut
So-
before my time. I can't speak on Peanut.
But he's still one of the best, but he not in my top 5.
Mike, I'm sorry. Give me one more second, dude. Who your top
Yeah, I
5
can
is?
think.
Name them.
Ruff,
We don't got all that time, bro.
Juice, Hilliard, Mr. Dickerson, and myself.
Okay, who you got, Juice? My bad. I need to hear.
But if I take myself out, bro, I give it to Kenny Collins, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
Kenny
I
Collins
give it
doing
to
good
a
work.
band director.
I would give it to
Collins
Kenny
doing good work.
Collins. bro.
Okay.
Kenny Collins is that nigga. I thought he was considered the band director. So my bad.
So I'm gonna take myself out. Bro. But I truly thank y'all for putting me in y'all top 5. But Kenny Collins is my number 5, bro.
Nah, Mike, keep yourself in
I
the
agree.
top 5. Keep yourself in the top
Nah,
5.
bro, y'all put me in it, bro. So I'm not gonna put myself in it. Y'all did it, bro. And I appreciate it.
You worked hard for it. Believe me, you worked hard for it.
Thank you, sir.
Yo, Juicy, who you got, brother?
All right. I'm gonna sing Mr. Wallace, Frog, of course. Ruff, Hill, Peanut, and myself.
Gang. Go ahead, Bob Miney. You know it. Throw your 5 out there.
Hill first, of course. Got to. After that, I'm gonna go with Juice, Ruff, Gocho.
It's okay not to have a 5th. It's okay.
I put, look.
It's okay.
Why I don't got a 5th? I put Juice and Gocho in the same for the simple fact that when I was coming up, they was coming up as drum instructors. So I grew with them. So I saw from the scratch when they was just teaching maybe a 5 or 6 a cheese to teach it some shit, expand your mind. So that's why they got to be together with that. But if
somebody said, nobody said Derek from Sophie be right.
I was never under him. I can't speak for that.
Yeah, his. You know what? In order to be on this list, your work got to scream and shout greatness. And I don't know why he not. I don't know why that brother not getting the recognition that he deserved. But he not. So he maybe some cats just need a little bit more time. You know what I mean? Some cats just need a little bit more.
Actually, Mike, I would give Mike 5 simply for the simple fact that I seen some of his plays, so I know he produced players. So I would give him 5 because I seen what he produced. I give you 5.
Listen, I most definitely would be phony not to say this. I need to say this. I don't care about the top 5, but I'm about to most definitely show Terrence Jameson and Wayne some love. Because what them dudes did at West Jeff and that amount of time when they first got there, for what West Jeff is still to this day, that's crazy. So I'd be crazy or phony not to mention them dudes.
Them dudes get props, man. But the thing is some of these cats did the work for a long time too. Again, like Juice clearly been doing this shit for like 40 years. I mean, that man been doing this shit for a minute.
Juice the man, bro.
Yeah.
Juice the man.
That's what I'm saying, man. But hey, Burger, with your late ass, you got in here late, man. It's 8:00. We had buku more stuff to talk about, but
we doing a part 2.
It's time
before Bomani and Mike get out of here, and Juice, I want y'all to name me the top 5 drum sections pre and post Katrina right now.
Wait, Burger, we gotta do this on the next time. It's after 8. You tripping? We gotta go.
I want to do this now.
We can't do it now. Listen, man. We're gonna
get off at 8:30. Look, we're gonna get off at 8:30.
We not getting off at 8:30.
It's already agreed on. 8:30. It's already agreed on. So we're gonna get the top.
Come on, man, because I ain't trying to hit that stuff going off.
Bomani, top 5 sections pre and post Katrina. Go right now. And after you say it, you can log off. I just want to hear your top 5 sections up to date and tag.
Man, that's not it. You should have said top 5 snare drummers. Make this shit real.
No, top. Look, if you want to,
top 5.
If you want to name your top 5 set, name whatever you want to name, long as it's top 5 before and not.
Okay, but we can't name sections because they play different stuff. So right, that's why I say like Jordan is the LeBron. You can't. They never played.
Give me the top 5 drum sections today and the top 5 drum sections of past.
I'm back.
Honestly, no order. I'm gonna say 3-5 before the storm. Easton, 2014. West Jeff, like now, they tenure now. My car sections and Kennedy.
Wow, no Landry Walker. Us say no?
No.
Oh,
wow.
I'm sorry. I gotta put say no. My experience. A lot of my teachers come from what I learned at St. Louis. I gotta put say no.
Okay, go ahead, Bomani. We listening. Go ahead, Bomani. We listening.
I can't. That's why. Look,
when I was at Kennedy, we gave St. August. That don't do nothing to me.
Yeah, I mean, we passed Katrina.
Yeah, we passed them out. We tore off into that ass. They wasn't seeing us.
I ain't go to the key, so I can't put them.
You hear me, bro?
No, that's all good. I mean, it's all good.
I can't really say pre-Katrina. I can just talk post. If that's post, I say Easton, Carl, West Jeff now, Carver, and Booker T.
Yeah, we gotta. I mean, you gotta split them two up, man. Like it. you can't compare them sections like that. Like
Right, that's why I'm like,
you can't compare a section now to a section in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like you can't even compare when I was in the school to when them dudes was around. So it's hard to mix and match sections like that, man. Like just being real and trying to be fair about it.
That's my 5, dude.
All right, Mr. Miyagi, your turn.
All I'm gonna say is number 1 is number 2, WestJet. Number 3, car. 4, number 5. I don't care about number 5. Not John Kennedy. Kennedy jump section now sucks. That's because that's the teacher that's teaching us. The teacher sucks.
Damn. God damn.
Yikes.
Hold up. Up too. I was in the backstage, but you ain't let that. My girl was running at your girl that whole game, and you ain't do nothing. You ain't let that girl play nothing. I got the fact to prove.
Somebody type the best.
Please show me that shit, dog.
But let me tell you this: Abe has the best bass drummer in the city.
See, bro, that little girl best thing is to leave y'all ass and come to the fucking key, dog.
Why would she want to?
She'll feel a whole lot better.
One reason why would she want to come to Kennedy? No, I'm not going to say nothing.
Because
Every time I say something about Kennedy, I had to write an apology letter. I'm not going to say nothing.
Nah, bro. Why y'all playing? Y'all sleep. Kennedy had a kid in the stands on baritone, L humping the baritone, jacking up. Boy, that's still the funniest video on the internet right now.
Because he's jerking.
Man, that shit was hilarious.
bro, that's how he was just pretty much telling Ed beat his dick, bro. You know, fuck.
That was no Ed game. That was Ed game. He was getting his ass that game.
Nah, dog, we was busting y'all ass, dog. Them pitiful ass songs y'all was playing.
Pre-Katrina, I don't care what none of y'all say. Some of y'all disrespecting a lot of these cats. 35 fucking drum section was nice. 35 drum section was nice. It was different from everybody else. And y'all,
I'm gonna get this what we're gonna okay, wait, Johnny.
I'm gonna get my top 5.
Johnny, you off subject. Give us your top 5.
Let me say this, dude. You can't say 35 drum section was nice and they sounded like they so. 35 drum section. 35 drum section sound just like Kennedy. They literally used to call them Baby Kennedy.
Man, Kennedy drum section was boring.
35.
Bro, y'all drum section was boring and y'all ain't had that many people. Hold on. Y'all drum section was shit. Your drum section was one of the schools when we was in school. Y'all need Johnny. Y'all drum section needed a band. Y'all needed a drum section.
Let Johnny talk.
Y'all sound like
Johnny talk.
Okay, you know what, Johnny? Say what you gotta say.
Who was better than Turd on bass drum?
Listen, Johnny, give your top 5. We don't want to hear that. Give your top 5.
I want John. Well, after you give me your top 5, bless me and you have a word, Johnny.
I already get my top 5. Pre-Katrina, 35. St. All. I'm not giving it to Kennedy. Full shade.
So you threw Fauché on there so you can keep them off you.
And Easton. I refuse to give Kennedy any prop.
That's fine. Is it my turn to get my top 5?
Bro, let
me get my top. Let me start off the one time that Johnny, your Abe drum sections was shit water. Brother. No. Johnny, this is not fair. Johnny.
I'm listening to
You're not being fair, brother. Okay, Johnny, your school was known for everything except drums. Y'all marched that piece of shit up in Johnny, y'all marched that piece of shit up in them stands in that blue rip. The only thing your school was known for was being city, and the fact that y'all wore cowboy hats in the 80s. That's what y'all was known for. Your high school drum section ain't shit. You should have been embarrassed to march in after that piece of shit on them out-of-tune drums and all of the cymbals was bending and cracked, looking dumb. That's what y'all was known for. So don't tell me nothing. Ain't drum section with now y'all had good individual players, but when y'all came together, they came together and formed one big ball of shit. Okay? Don't ever forget that. I don't you ever put your lip to say y'all was in nobody top 5. I'm still mine. One bass number don't make no sense. Next number here, oh, that don't make no sense. Man. So anyway, my top 5 section, my top 5 section is Kennedy in my era, Kennedy before my era, Kennedy right after I graduated, Kennedy from like 1980, and Kennedy when Ruff was there. That's what I'm talking about. My section is all Kennedy. And you know who in my bottom is Abe and Douglas and Nichols. I know that's the same school, but that's who in the bottom. Abe band ain't shit. And not the band was okay, but the drum section was awful. And the nerve of you, Johnny, you need to be ashamed of yourself. We was in school together.
The only people that think Kennedy good are Kennedy Cat. Kennedy was not good.
Kennedy, well, what was Abe? What was Abe?
I bet you Abe bust Kennedy ass now.
Fucking sad.
We talking about our era. We talking about the piece of shit you marched in behind. We're talking about that. No, let's talk about our era. That shit you marched in. Your drum section, let me tell you something. Your drum section, Johnny, when you was in school, is the reason why these youngsters abandoned our stuff. Y'all the reason. Your school single-handedly with them cowboy hats, looking stupid. That was country. Okay?
Y'all band was horrible at Kennedy.
Y'all band was horrible at Abe though. Y'all entire band.
Only thing that was good at Kennedy was
y'all band was terrible. And because of your drum section, Johnny, these youngsters have decided that they no longer want to be a part of our tradition. Because y'all band, and I'm starting drum section, ain't shit. You had 3 snap drummers. You had and one of them could play every year. You had 3 of them. It was one dude on tenor. It was after Taylor graduated. It was like a pick on bass drum.
So y'all go, y'all home. Every Christmas, got smoked by error.
That never happened.
Bro, can them people get a top 5? Can them people get a top 5, bro? Can we give our top 5, bro? Can we give our top 5, bro? Can we give our top 5, bro? This ain't fair, bro. Can we give our top 5, bro?
Y'all can, but I mean, don't
Let me say this one more time. Man, you know, man, but look, for all y'all in the comments that talking about A band, I bet you they got dudes that can outplay y'all from A band. So y'all better chill out. Make sure you on your shit before you talk about A band. Because we did have concert bands. Some of y'all didn't have concert bands. So that y'all won't be real.
Who ain't have concert band, Johnny? Speak on it.
Kennedy didn't have concert band. Kennedy didn't have concert band. Terry didn't have concert band.
Y'all believe it if y'all want. Now he done went the line. Kennedy most certainly had a concert band. But Johnny is in his feelings because I talked about the fact that they sound like shit. They used to march up pieces. Y'all look like shit. Y'all marched in the back of the parade every year. That was the big deal when I was in school. Y'all marched in the back by the flamethrowers. You know why we never battled down the parade when I was in school? Because he was too goddamn far back. He was too damn far back.
Nigga said the flamethrowers. The flamethrowers.
Well, they was back there with the flamethrowers. Everybody used to be sweating as soon as the parade started because they was back there by all that fire.
Boy,
shit, Burger, y'all can hear me?
Boy, you know we didn't have no concert, man. Chill out.
I can hear you, Mike. Hey, Mike need to.
They didn't let me get my top 5.
Hey man, let Mike get his top 5. Y'all, let Mike get his top 5.
Huh? Let me ask y'all, please.
Nigga, I wasn't there before Miguel. That was when Bryce was there.
Why do you know they had one?
Because I went to LMEA, bro. I seen
I
it.
can't see nobody, bro.
Keep reading
I gonna see you, bro.
Bryce brought them to LMEA. You
So ain't going to no goddamn. They might have went to Orleans Parish superintendent. They didn't go to LMEA.
You might be right. Superintendent. Yeah. You might be
No,
right.
we always went.
I can see y'all.
Donnie,
You might be right.
go ahead, Mike.
When I
I'm
was
sorry.
in the band at age, Kennedy did not have a concert band.
Oh God.
Wait,
A lie, I
what?
don't care who tell it.
When I was in the band at age 97, 98 years to 2001, Kennedy did not have a
A
concert.
lie, I don't care who tell it. If y'all believe Dr. Walter Harris didn't have a concert,
Blood.
I got some
I'm gonna tell you
land
like
in the
this.
middle of the lake. I want to tell y'all.
Harry Powell, you always put your 2 cents in, and I ain't talking to you because you don't be digging no more on the weekend. Stop taking up for these Kennedy cats. Stop taking up for these Kennedy cats, y'all.
He not taking up for Kennedy cats. He just need a friend right now because I won't sell him no band clout. So Jared he's lonely right now.
Now, Jared, when you was in school, that was the 80s. They may have had one. They may have had a concert band in the 80s. But when I was in school, they did not. And they drum section was not that good. It was garbage, and it was very boring. Kennedy drum section was boring.
Y'all drum section was non-existent in Shitwater though. Y'all drum section, y'all was one of them schools. Your drum section is the total reason why Juicy and them said, "To hell with all of that. We're not doing the dumb shit." Y'all the reason.
So look, let me tell y'all something. They had class at every school. Like this dude just said. Aaron Wilkes was better than any stud drummer that ever went to Kennedy. Like, stop it. Y'all dudes be thinking because you go to a big school like they be having niggas that's good. They had some cold dudes.
Johnny, can we let Mike say a top 5? You got to catch an aneurysm and all that other stuff. Let that man say a top 5.
Nelson better be in your top 5 too.
Man, you know damn well Abe been in my top 5.
Good.
I wouldn't even put them in my top 4.
Damn. K5, you better not put them in.
Bro. I wouldn't even put them in my top 40, bro. I'll put St. Paul before them.
St. Paul, Lord, a white boy?
Fucking right. I'll put St. Paul before them.
Your drum section now is garbage. What's your drum section against our dude?
What? Why y'all in bust my ass? You want to go back?
Top 5.
Don't sleep on Brother Martin.
All right, so my top 5 is not A. My top 5 is Kennedy, old Kennedy, St. O, the new West Jeff, the new Etna Co. You know what? I'm gonna take St. O off. Fuck that. I'm gonna keep it real. Kennedy, West Jeff, the new Booker T, the new Culver, Etna Co. And I'm talking about the old and new Kennedy. They all as one. So how about to say Burger, man? Held that baby up like he was on Lion King. Bro,
I thought the same.
I was giving him to his mama. I was giving him to his mama.
Any list that don't involve sad ass Abe is okay with me, to be real.
Yeah, bro, I'm about to start singing the Circle of Life, bro.
Go ahead, bust it. He 2 months. He needed.
Oh man. Yeah, bro, but like I said, my section.
No, I just wanted to be messing right quick because Matt didn't catch it. Bomani said that he got 5 snare drummers versus your 5 snare drummers, but you missed that. So I just wanted to put it out there while he's still on here. Bomani said he get 5 new school snare drummers, and you get 5 old school snare drummers, and y'all have a little run session.
Bruh, how we gonna run? I don't play snare no more. I play drum kit. You see crazy? How we gonna do that? That's gonna be crazy.
Bomani said, stop talking all that stuff then. Bomani said, you talking all that stuff?
What happened in my, I can talk about what.
No, that man said, don't talk about that if you can't get them sticks up. You didn't say that in the private chat? You didn't say that in the private chat, Bomani?
I said I got 5 top 5. My top 5 and get his top 5. I ain't say stop talking about that stuff.
You said Matt. You said the man's name. You said Matt.
Did I say stop talking all that is what I said?
Bomane, you have disappointed New School for the night.
Burger, hold
Somebody
on, Burger.
get Leo on here. Please get Leo on here.
Burger, let me ask you a question, Burger. Though. Listen, let me say this. I mean, that's like saying LeBron better than Jordan. We can't run. We don't play stuff no more. Listen, y'all want talent on Jordan? I can do that. I mean, like I don't do that no more. Like I don't know what to say, man. My relationship with Snap ended when I stopped. Like I started having to do something else. But listen, Burger, you still personally play some ball. I got an 11-year-old that I want you to have a reading contest with.
Please bring him up. Bring him on.
Because
I want to get your 11-year-old. I'm going to embarrass. I don't care about word on the street. I'm going to embarrass your 11-year-old, and then I'm going to crank on his little ass. No, I'm not. No. Get your 11-year-old, and I'm going to crank on his little ass, and then I'm going to send him back to you.
Burger, let me ask you a question. This is the thing. What is your position in the goddamn All-Star band?
I'm a role player. Sixth man of the year.
Burger, how long?
Say, I knew you were about to ask
You sixth man, what? No,
sixth man of the year.
Burger, stop it. Okay, well then I don't wanna talk to you, Burger, because
Steve Kerr got the same ring Jordan got, right?
You anything but
Steve Kerr got the same ring Jordan got.
Don't do that.
I ain't trying to hear none of that. None of it.
Stop it.
At least I could march when I first got in the band. You didn't even know how to march and play.
I didn't, but
I knew how to march and play, you bastard.
Because the first, I understand that. But look,
I have never marched in a hole in my life. That is one thing you will never get from me.
But you marched in the All-Star band behind a little 11-year-old girl.
Never in the hole.
You got children that girl is, and this girl marching in the band before you. You got 11-year-old. You got 14-year-old boys in the band giving you neck when you mess up. You need
I don't mess up.
Yourself.
Greatness don't mess up, Matt. Matt, I am the band God. I am the band God.
You got
I
children.
am band Jesus. Do not get mad. What you're gonna do?
Me sound bad.
You're gonna make me take your 401k away. I am band God. I am band Jesus. I am the most famous bandsman in New Orleans after Katrina. You will not discredit me. You will not discredit me. I have kids bigger than you. I have kids bigger than you.
Burger, that's not Burger. That mouthpiece not working for you, Burger. You got children telling you this kind of shit. So when you get on here and you come at my musical acumen,
I will never come at your musical acumen because you was a beast. That would be stupid of me. That is murder suicide. But I will not let you disrespect my hard work in the New Orleans All-Star Alumni Band and my band and my work that
you put on for my city. And so I F with you. Wait, can I get the beside? Listen, ain't number love. But listen, let me get the Bomani. Listen, Bomani, man, I really wish we could have all linked up, man. But that'll be tough. Like my top 5 would be cats like Travis and Rock and you know what I mean? Like we can't. I mean, how we gonna like? It'll be cats. I mean, that would be
my top 5 all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying though, but if like my top 5, it'll be tough, man. Like I would like to get into some of that, man, but it really would be tough.
Talking about Rock and all?
Yeah.
It
really would be tough.
Who is this dude from that played Teledrum that posted that thing in the Reloaded? Who is that guy?
Who? He talking about Trey Bolden from TSU.
Trey.
I know Trey will give a lot of them dudes smoke.
I'm not gonna lie.
Smoke.
Yeah, he will. Trey good. I F with Trey. Trey play with the right knowledge. I like all of that. He don't get up and try to beat the hell out the drum. I like the way Trey plays.
It's just them lights he was using. I thought I was gonna catch a seizure. He had them neon lights, and I was like, I thought I was gonna pass out.
I think Mike and I do should go at it online.
Bah, smoke the fuck out of dude.
You won't.
Bet. I
I
know his weakness, bro.
Yeah. What about Ike?
I know his weakness.
Hey, people sleep on Ike. Like, I don't gonna lie. I'm Mike is a hell of a player. Mike better than that.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Who is the cat Clifford in the comments?
I told y'all left Landry Walker drum section. No, Cliff was coming.
That's his problem. Cliff, he Landry Walker drum section.
That's his section. When y'all
That's
left
his
Landry
problem.
Walker,
His problem is now. See, I'm trying not to sit nothing ugly about Landry Walker drum section, but his problem is ain't nobody missing his drum section. And his drum section made anybody top 5. Why he in the comments? I think maybe he should be like working on material for his drum section or coming up with ideas. maybe that's what Brother Cliff should be doing. Maybe Brother Cliff should be working on some stuff. Maybe Cliff should reach out to some of these other. Do you know Cliff?
Kennedy is not better than Landry Walker.
Do you know Cliff Juice?
Will. Y'all got y'all favorite. I'm gonna say
you fucking tripping.
Kennedy is not better than Landry Walker drum section, dog.
You can put Abe and Landry Walker together. I'm gonna bust y'all ass.
Ooh.
Put Abe and you can combine Abe. Now I'm gonna tell you the straight.
It's getting hot up in here.
Now I'm about to get K-File on your
It's getting hot up in here.
You can put Abe and Landry Walker together. I'll burn him, motherfucker. I'll burn him with Lake Area drum section.
Listen. You know what Johnny sound like to me, Mike? Johnny sound like whenever he said Landry Walker better than us, he sound like a little dude saying, I know you can beat me up, but you can't beat up your boy around the corner. Johnny, get that shit off the. Johnny, listen, this is the point. Your drum section ain't shit.
Landry Walker is better than Johnny. I'm being real.
It's all good. Put y'all together.
Why these junkers want to run? I know, right? Matt, if we are in the
Mike, you want to set it up?
You just set it. Fuck this Corona shit. You just set it up now.
Bruh,
hey, drum clinic coming soon.
I don't.
Jude, drum clinic coming soon. Make sure that I versus Landry Walker and fucking Abe.
My money.
Because I ain't keep calling the phone, but I'm telling them that I'm using the phone.
Yeah, I mentioned Abe on the phone when I came home.
So if Abe drum section was cool, it's because they let a Kennedy nigga come in there and teach the kid.
But that was
nobody from Abe fucking me though. Nobody, every nigga from Abe respecting me though. I was the only one that could walk up there and say fuck Abe.
Well, fuck Kennedy.
Just like still not. Bro, your drum instructor is whack, dog.
How you cut your volume on? I can't even get
it. It's better than you.
Like what the hell?
I like him. I'm not gonna.
I can't hear Matt.
I do him better than shit, bro. Hey, bro. And I want Abdul to get on here and hear this shit. You shit.
Real stuff. Like real stuff. Me and Mike, I got a lot of. Mike was my drum instructor for how long? Mike, about 5 years.
Yeah.
Mike,
yeah, about 5, 6 years.
Mike is a hell of a drum instructor, and I'm not going. That's how we play. I do. There you go. I do. There you go. He just walked. There you go. I got money on I do versus you.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, Mike, tell him about.
Well, you might well pay me now, though.
No.
You might well pay me now. I run from no fucking body, bro.
That man say he asleep on you.
All right. Well, I always seem like
go to fucking sleep.
I always seem like the bad guy, but we have gotten word that we got to close out the show. I want to say that it's been a joy. I'll let everybody give a closing remark, then I give the last.
So
you want to start us, my brother?
I say my closing remark. Look, let me tell y'all, bro. All us on here, we really cool. Like me and Mike, me and him have had. We always fuss like this, so I don't want y'all to be thinking that we fuss like this all the time. But he know for sure that I will put money on our dude, and our dude will burn it. Our dude, I got your back. Don't worry about none of that. But look, bro, we gonna keep this show. We doing this.
I'm telling you that. For
yeah, this is a hella fire show. I enjoyed this drum talk. I learned a lot from you fellas. I also know in my heart that Kennedy drum section was overrated, and it never was as good as they thought they were. That's my last statement.
Too bad I can't say that about Ed, dog, because y'all never was rated. So, like I said, everybody stay safe. God bless. But y'all know who the realness is, that K5 Funk family. Y'all know I represent y'all. Y'all just stay safe out there,
Look at my son, Gerard Dawson. He'll smoke any one of your tenor drum players, Mike. Gerard Dawson. Put your money where your mouth.
Man, my son. I'll get my son to burn and piss out your whole tenor drum section.
You gonna get your son embarrassed and you gonna want to whoop his ass. Don't put your son in.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
What you want to put?
Bomani, man, what you got, brother? You gotta close it out. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Bomani gone.
Well, since I can close it out, I just wanted to put out that I enjoyed everybody that was on here today. And to any of my fans in the comments that would love to join my fan club, Jared Powell is head of my fan club. And the GoFundMe, if you need any information on BandCloud on my website, Jared Powell has set up. Y'all please reach out to him. He can help y'all with all information y'all need.
Yeah, that's Jared Powell, a good dude, though.
Yeah, I know. He hooked me up. He hooked me up big time. But money, never mind. I'm not gonna say it on here.
You want to say anything in closing, brother?
Jew, somebody say like Spike Lee on it. Like. Man, what you saying, Drew? Go by Bomani. Go by Bomani.
All jokes aside, I mess with Jared Power, bro. I hope nobody don't think none of this is personal. I fool with Jared Power.
Yeah, me too. That's my dude.
I'm gonna translate what Juice has said. Fuck a.
Boy, last time you see, if I go on, I don't want to apologize no more. Chill out.
He said, fuck a Mike Cliff. No, y'all. Cliff know damn well y'all not better than. They know damn well they not better than Kennedy.
When I come back at Kennedy, y'all know y'all rats. So chill out.
Okay,
say, bro, go back and look at the game, bro.
Okay. I get to have the last word on this show. It's man, on the real, it's been a blast being on with you, brother. Man, I appreciate all of the insight given. I hope we all understand each other a little better, man. We don't. My era, man. I understand what y'all saying about things have to evolve. We all for evolution, like I said, but we just my era. We just wish the younger cats were more knowledgeable, and we wish they wouldn't have abandoned tradition. That's when we get in groups like the Percussion Connection, and they say stuff like, "We wish New Orleans stopped biting our style, man." That hurts. That does hurt. So, again, man, I definitely feel where y'all coming from, and I appreciate all the hard work y'all done. Salute to all of the drum sections, and to hell with Abe drum section now, in the past, the present, and the future. To hell with them.
Fuck them country hog mog eating bitches. What man about them country niggas?
Hey, hold up. I can't even hit up. I can't hit Burger no more.
I got somebody on speaker. I want to tell you something, Mike.
Man.
Oh, Cliff, what you got to say?
You hit me. Oh.
One thing, right quick.
Feelings.
You gotta
so deep in his feelings.
You gotta tell a lot of the old heads
that's our dude.
about they don't like what's going on right now. You gotta tell them they gotta come and give back themselves.
Turn your phone down so I can hear you.
You gotta tell them they gotta come give back. You can't talk from the internet. You gotta come to the show. They not gonna know unless you come show.
Go ahead, Clip.
But when you say give back, what do you mean? What do you say
honestly,
we should be doing?
This is a message to the old heads.
A lot of us don't even. A lot of the old heads don't even.
I have a message to the old heads.
What?
I say, I pretty much believe that it will never change back to what it was before Katrina. And
nobody's trying to get that to happen.
The students know everything you're saying. It's still not going to change back to pre-Katrina. It has to be like kind of like Romani said. It got to be in a proof. If a section is doing everything that y'all want the section to do, and they're dominating the city, then they'll be more receptive as far as majority of the city. But other than that,
I understand that. But when those other drum sections from those other places get up and play, when those other drum sections
it's not out of
play,
disrespect. It just
when those other drum sections say that, but those
not gonna happen.
But those other drum sections feel like y'all are a cheap imitation of what they're trying to do. Though it's not, y'all say y'all trying to be ready for drum sections outside of the city, but y'all are. They feel like, and it doesn't look original. It's like y'all imitating somebody else sometimes, and it doesn't feel authentic. Where is the authenticity in it? And that's what bothers them. Nobody is trying to get y'all to convert.
Is it that more drum instructors?
No,
is it that more drum
What,
instructors are coming from other schools?
No, it's not that. No, it's not. It's not that. When it's man, we gotta. I hate that we gotta go, bro. Like I hate that we gotta go. Like we gotta listen, fellas.
Hey, hold up.
Hold on, man.
Hey man, listen, man. We gonna get a chance to revisit this because as y'all can see, we got a lot.
Hold on, man.
No, we can't hold up. Y'all gotta do that off the thing, John. We really gotta check out.
We gotta go. Hey, we gotta go, guys.
I want to hear Mr. Rogers have to sit on the phone.
I hear his feelings, and we gotta go. Everybody, we see y'all next week. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off.
Yeah, look how these things going on the wall.
I know, yeah.
Clip, bro.
Just been eating the bread.
What Cliff said?
I catch that.
Who does he say?
Feeling so deep.
He said was, I can translate for him.
He sound like that teacher from Charlie Brown.
He said, F them out of town, man. And he said, Mike, whenever you won't get it, you can get it.
Tell him grab a drum and challenge me.
You hear what he said, Clip? Grab a drum and challenge him.
Oh, my nigga, are you all right, bro?
He said, not about you and him. It's about you.
Bro, I can't hit nothing.
I like to make the drum instructors look bad in front of their kids.
Bomani on here eating inbread.
Bomani.
I like to make the drum section look bad. Say, Johnny. I like to make the drum section look bad. I like to make the drum instructors look bad in front of their kids.
Hey man, look, what next week's show about, Burger?
We will not. We're gonna be dropping that later on in the week.
We'll see y'all next week. Peace. Thank y'all.
Y'all take it easy.